It seems to me that you have an intuition for talent even before it's realized.
Yes, maybe.
I was very attracted to Peggy Guggenheim's story for many different reasons, but I think the ultimate message for me was the fact that her role in art history had been underplayed for such a long time.
Oh, they've become more or less the most important part of my life. I can't imagine now living without them.
Her own personal story was the story that was kind of much more out there in the world, and it was a story that she very much advertised, which was the story of her lovers.
She'd carved out a niche for herself, and she filled it, and she made it as a collector, and as a kind of collector that never quite existed before.
She wanted this art as a mirror for her own strangeness.
This whole sense of her sexuality, it was really courageous. I don't think that she was, I think she was just in touch with her own sexual feelings, which is a very modern approach to living life. And I love that sense of the fact that she was attracted to somebody, she slept with the person, and she chose some very smart people to be involved with.
Sex and art went absolutely hand in hand in her brain.
She was talked about as such a slut for doing the same thing that all the men around her were doing.
Peggy is a sort of model for the liberated woman.
It's the idea, the sense of transformation that it attracts me a lot to her, because she took her life and totally turned it around.
Peggy appealed to me because of her eccentricities. Just a wonderfully colorful family.
The Guggenheims progressed from selling door to door to having these enormous fortunes.
You must have been extremely shocked when your father died on the Titanic.
Yes.
She actually helped artists to leave Europe, to the United States, so she very much saved artists.
Her role in New York during the war was very, very important. When she opened up Art of the Century, it really changed. It not only helped these exiled artists, but it also changed the way that the New York artists who were there were not really the abstract expressionists, but all of a sudden they were not only exposed to the art by these artists, but to the thought process, to the subconscious. And it was then that the beginning of abstract expressionism was formed.
You could have wound up in a concentration camp.
Yes, I know that.
She managed to put together one of the great collections of modern art for the almost laughable sum of $40,000.
Some of these prices are subjective because they're so rare. But you're talking billions of dollars.
She had some inner light to her that was a huge attraction to the artist. But I do think that internally she felt emotionally very void, and she never felt 100% about her looks.
My father showed with her, my mother showed with her. She was a big part of their lives in 1946, when I was 3.
The film is currently playing in New York and will be opening this Friday in Los Angeles and expanding to the rest of America throughout the next month.
I first met Jackson Pollock when he was working as a carpenter in my uncle's museum. So I rescued him from that.
And how do you feel about walking down the ramp at the Guggenheim Museum and seeing your paintings in a completely different environment?
Oh, my uncle's garage, yes. It looks like a garage, doesn't it? I think if he saw this now, he'd turn in his grave. I came to Venice, which I'd always adored, which had been my dream city.
Did you feel it was a crazy life?
Definitely, yes. It was all about art and love.